Square Enix brings a DS game to the iOS, and we check out the games that will be coming out this week. Hi, I'm Scott Jones, and this is your Press Pause Daily. Last week, Square Enix fans got really excited when a countdown appeared online. The countdown was connected to the well-loved DS game The World Ends With You, and fans were hoping that the countdown would reveal that the company was working on a sequel. What they got, though, was much more disappointing. The end of the countdown brought the announcement that the game would be making its way to iOS devices in The World Ends With You Solo Remix. The original game utilized both DS screens during gameplay as you controlled two different characters. The iOS version moves both characters to the same screen. It will also give the game new HD graphics and new music tracks. And to add insult to injury to fans, Square Enix is charging a full $20 for the game. So unless you really want to play this game on your iPhone or your iPad, I say take a pass. We've got quite a few games heading your way this week, especially if you own a PS3. And to start off, it wouldn't be the end of summer without the yearly Madden fix. This year, the developers want to bring the feeling of actually watching the game live to your video game experience, with dynamic in-game transitions, a live ticker, and drastically improved usability. The game will also utilize CBS sports commentators Jim Nantz and Phil Simms calling the action from the virtual 3D booth. It has a redesigned passing game as well as new and reactive defensive AI, and this year will be the first use of the Infinity Engine, which will give the game a more authentic look and feel. And there's a special treat for Xbox Connect owners, as they will be able to control the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively using just your voice. If you eagerly await the new Madden games, you can pick it up for PS3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, and PlayStation Vita. The music game genre has been lying low for the past few years, apart from some dance games. Harmonix, though, isn't giving up on their venerable Rock Band franchise, and they have a new game that should work great for those who don't feel like dragging out their plastic instruments. Rock Band Blitz is coming to both PSN and XBLA and takes the Rock Band gameplay that gamers know and love and simplifies it, so that you can play it with just your controller. Playing a lot like Amplitude or Frequency, the game will give you 5 instrument lanes for each song. Using your controller, you move between each lane and try to hit the notes. Hitting multiple notes builds a multiplier, and there are also other power-ups that players can grab to help build a higher score. As with past games, you'll be given a star ranking at the end of each track. The game will come with 25 songs from artists such as Fall Out Boy, Rick Springfield, Kelly Clarkson, and Iron Maiden. Also, players will be able to import all downloaded songs from Rock Band 3. And so PC gamers don't feel left out this week, there's also the launch of the eagerly anticipated MMO Guild Wars 2. The game is set 250 years after the first game and has you dealing with 5 elder dragons that have been sleeping under the ground but have now woken up and are causing chaos across the continent. As the player, you are tasked with reuniting the members of the disbanded Destiny's Edge, whose combined strength is needed to effectively combat Jaitan, the undead elder dragon. Guild Wars 2 will let players craft a character from a combination of 5 races and 8 professions. The game will also feature a storyline that is responsive to the action of the players, which is a feature normally seen in single-player RPGs as opposed to an MMO. While it seems like just another MMO trying to fight its way into an already crowded market, Guild Wars 2 has been gaining some positive buzz. If you're an avid MMO player, then it might be in your best interest to give this one a look-see. And lastly today is a collection of collections for PS3 owners. Sony loves repackaging older games and offering them together for a discount price, and they are bringing it this week with 4 different collections. First up is the God of War Saga collection, which brings together the first God of War collection, which had HD upgrades of the first 2 PS2 God of War games. It then bundles in the PS3's God of War 3, and if that wasn't enough, it also adds the God of War Origins collection, which was the HD upgrades of the 2 PSP games, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta. That's 5 God of War games for the price of $40. If you haven't played any God of War games up to this point, you have no excuse anymore. Next up is the Infamous collection. Sucker Punch showed that it had more to give gamers than just a thieving raccoon when it came out with its super anti-hero game back in 2009, and then proved it wasn't a fluke with the sequel. This collection brings both of the games together along with the Festival of Blood DLC expansion for Infamous 2 that brought in vampires. It also features lots of extra missions as well as additional costumes, power-ups, and weapons. Game number 3 is another PS2 collection, this time for everyone's favorite Lombax and his robotic friend. The Ratchet & Clank Collection brings together the first 3 games in the series, Ratchet & Clank, Going Commando, and Up Your Arsenal. It remasters them all in 1080p with 3D support for 720p. It also adds PSN trophy support for each game, as well as adding 1 to 12 person online multiplayer support for Up Your Arsenal. If this one does well, you can be sure we'll see another one that groups together the PS3 games in the franchise. And our last collection brings together all of the games from indie powerhouse That Game Company. The Journey Collection brings all 3 of their PSN exclusive games, Flow, Flower, and Journey, all together on one disc. The disc will also feature bonus content, including an original soundtrack for all 3 games, 3 exclusive minigames from That Game Company, a 30-minute documentary about Journey, creator commentary playthroughs for all 3 games, exclusive Journey PSN avatars, and more. If you want a PS3, then this week looks to be a pretty good one for you, but that doesn't mean there aren't some awesome games for our Xbox and PC friends as well. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Press Pause. If you've missed any of our past episodes, go to presspause.mevio.com, check those out there, and we will see you next time.